I'm going to show you some of the common problems that happen with live paint and live trace and when we bring in scanned images. I drew this dragon. Let me zoom in a little bit here so you can see it better. So I've drawn this dragon just freehand on a piece of paper, scanned it and brought it in. Well, first off, notice the color over here. There's lots of confusion about what colors I have, and that's because this is just a black and white. It doesn't have the rest. So I'm just going to choose CMYK, and that may help. Actually, sometimes I got to double click this. There. Now I could choose my CMYK. So I chose a color and then chose my CMYK, and now I can fill. Let's try and, well, first off, let's live trace this. Live trace. Ah, it's gone. Well, let's increase the threshold, say to 235. That's good. You can tell I've played with this before. You can play with your own threshold there. That'll work. Sometimes you go with just a preset like comic art. It'll work. But for the comic art, it doesn't quite give it what I want. So I'm going to go 235. That works well. I'll click expand. And now I'm ready to start live painting. And I want to show you a few things that happen. So we'll click to make it a live paint group. And then I can start painting. Oh, look at that. These little pieces down here work just fine. That one filled nice, that one filled nice, that one filled nice, but this one didn't. It went all the way around. It kind of splashed through. Let me show you the problem there. It splashed around this corner. There's a gap there. So Control Z back to get out of there. And I have to figure out what can I do. Well, one option is to go to my object, live paint, gap options. I can go in here and turn on some gap options. For my gap options, I'm going to say detect them, gap detection, and paint stops at small gaps. Let's just try that, see if it's enough. And look at that, it's enough. Sometimes if the gaps are bigger, then you end up with you have to go with a larger. Okay, so now let's deselect and just show you what happens though. The thing is, let's put in a yellow or something. Put in yellow there. Now watch what happens. You get a line, you get a very visible ending of one color and beginning of the next color. So what if I didn't want that line to appear there? Okay, well, let's back up then. Z, Control Z, edit undo, and let's look at some other options. Well, the issue is the gap, so why don't I just close the gap? I could draw with the pencil, draw a little line that goes across, give it some stroke, and there we would have it. But you'll notice it doesn't actually end up working because it's not part of my live paint group. So I'm going to go select all, object, live paint, merge. There, now it'll be joined together. And when I go to live paint, choose a color. Was I doing red? Whatever. Spending too much time fiddling there. Anyways, now that line has merged with the rest of my paint, and so it's all together. What's another option? Control Z back. One more. And this can work or cannot work. Depends on how well the live trace went. I'm trying to extend this over here, and sometimes you can get the points to sort of redraw your line over. But in this case, not quite. Oh, I know the issue. Well, I've already ungrouped it. I'm going to ungroup this. Right click, ungroup, and then see if I can just delete this background. I've used the direct selection tool after I ungrouped it, deselected it, and I selected just the background. I'm going to press delete. There, that got rid of that. So I don't have all that white that was in the original scan, and this might allow me now to adjust this. delete that one. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of extra strokes. I need to clean this up almost. Select all, object, path, simplify. Whoa, that didn't help. Clean up. Clean up. Oh, didn't clean anything up. What is that one? It's like I've got extra strokes there, eh? See, that's an extra stroke. Delete. There we go. Got it. There was extra strokes that were in there. And look for any extras. No, that looks good. Yeah, oh, there's an extra one there. I'm going to press delete on the keyboard. You wouldn't necessarily always notice those, but that's what the issue was there. Okay, so there's 3 ways to handle gaps. One is in your gap detection. 2 is to draw lines in and then merge with object, live paint, merge. And the 3rd is to use the direct selection tool and tweak the drawings as is. And you can see sometimes you discover little stray objects. Ideally though, you would have just brought this drawing in as a base layer and then use the pen tool, the draw over top, and recreate it. You'd have a lot less points and not all those stray things. But I thought I'd show you this. Enjoy!